We're going live.
You are listening to the one and only, the hottest podcast show on the planet. It's OK Law. Over to you, John, Kenny, and Eugene.
What's up,
Hi.
everybody? Welcome to another edition of It's Okay La
Welcome back lah.
with Kenny
Three
and
three weeks,
Eugene.
3 weeks or welcome back lah.
3 weeks.
What
Wow.
happened to you
Oh,
guys? 3 weeks. Walao eh. You
There
took
you
a
go.
cruise holiday, or did you like went to Mars and came back? 3 weeks enough or not?
oh, feels like it, man. I think so. I think between us all, there was like COVID. There was probably some influenza going on, right, for your family, John. So it was like legitimately sick for like a few weeks.
Well, I'm actually okay. I mean, I think it's
That-
both of
You've
you.
been fine. You've been fine.
It was
Cross fingers, don't curse me. Maybe it's my turn soon, and I can't afford it
so.
because this weekend I'm away. Yeah.
So what was it?
Oh,
There was COVID, and then after COVID, there was something else before my throat infection. So says the doctor.
mm,
And I think you were out as well, right? Handling some tenant issues.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh yes,
there
yes,
was that
yes, yes, yes.
the tenant thing and the dog thing. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Should we
Okay.
talk about
So
that?
so
We don't have to.
well, we can. So nothing really panned out in the end. I mean, it's for some context, it's the situation whereby I've got my uncle's moved out of his current house now and he's staying with my family, the family home, not where I am. And there's a dog that he left behind. And in his situation, current state, he can't really take care of a dog, much less take care of himself. So but he still cares for the dog, so we're trying to work out a situation whereby the dog is still back at the old house, but somebody takes care of it. Maybe get someone to come into the house to live in rent free and then look after the
Mm.
dog and all that. So but eventually all that didn't really pan out. And lo and behold, the dog right now is actually um, quite close to that said lady who I met on the day,
Oh.
talking about a potential tenancy, while looking after the dog. But then now the dog has, happily is staying with that said lady. And then
Oh. So
yeah,
problem solved.
yes, but she's also come back, saying that she would like some money for so-called
Ah,
services.
minding the dog.
How does 380 ringgit a month sound? Food and tending. It's not a lot, but it's not little also lah.
Kind of sounds. I don't know how much is dog food.
I have
What
no
do you feed the
idea.
dog? Like,
There's a pet sitting service that I guess people who spend a lot of money on dogs normally use
mm,
here. Or okay, my other cousin, small size dog, and
mm,
spends basically it's her dog like it's her
it's a
family lah.
baby.
80 ringgit per day for watching over a dog when she goes overseas per day.
Oh,
So that
I
isn't
don't
a
know.
u-
I've
a
that
good baseline to
sounds
use.
that
Yeah,
sounds about right actually.
80 ringgit per day.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I mean,
Dog
I've
sitting.
never had a dog, but I know that these things can be quite expensive. When
Yeah, when you get to
is-
the kind of food and then the kind of like pet grooming and basically the kind of
yeah.
lifestyle that probably is better than what most people actually can get. So that's
Mm.
that, but that is not a baseline that I would use lah. But yeah, 380 ringgit per month is what she's asking for lah.
But
So
why is she asking for money though? I mean, it's
Because
like
I think in her mind she's
I think
like
it's a cross
helping them
between
to.
she wants to care for the dog. The dog isn't hers. Um, Apparently, when during the pandemic or when my uncle was driving up and down and not staying in Subang anymore, she actually came to the house, saw the dog there, tried to climb into which is not legal, climb into the house to feed the dog, which was behind
Oh,
in the house or in the lock in the house, but the grills you could see through lah. So she actually, like, climb in and then give the dog food. So
Oh, she
there's a
broke
there's
into the
a
house to
according to the neighbors,
okay.
yes. According to the neighbors, the
That's
neighbors
kind
say,
of
yeah, no,
strange.
this lady did that, and then it's actually quite dangerous. And then when she told me the same story, I said, yeah, no, I saw it. I saw the dog in the daytime. I didn't want to go in because it looks really bad, but I do at night it's better. So she did.
That
Yeah.
doesn't
Right.
mean
And again, I'm just listening, and that was where,
Right.
and that was during the conversation where I was trying to, like, size her up, what's the deal, and making sure there's nothing
Right.
untoward, about. So I just listen lah, then I had the night also ran quite long because of talking to the neighbor, and the neighbor had a lot of things to say, like, the family who stays
About the
right beside.
lady or
No, this
about
is
the
an
dog?
actual neighbor of my uncle who was, happily also observing, among other
All
things, this
all that was going
lady.
on.
Yeah. So yeah, he dragged the night a lot longer than I wanted lah. Yeah. So now, the dog is at this lady's house. Seems to be attached to her already, which I guess is a good thing. But she's also saying that, yeah, I know. Would like to get some cash, or compensation for looking after the dog per se lah. But yeah, it's not as if, like, we needed someone to look after the dog in that sense, but it kind of became that way. Um, the funny thing is, I didn't even ask my uncle about whether he would like to pay or not, because at some point I realized, you know what, I'll just make a decision with my siblings custodian the money, and then, because the last thing we want is for my uncle to think, yeah, I don't want to spend the money. I'm going to go and bring the dog back to the Gasing house where, he won't take care of the dog, or to have a situation whereby he wants to drive to Subang every day and look for the dog again, which he doesn't really do. He just goes there, feed the dog, and then sleeps in the house for a few hours and then leaves. So yeah, that's currently where I
Sounds like
am at with the
that's the best thing
situation.
to do lah. Just make the
Yeah, it
decision,
kind
I
of
guess.
happened just organically that
I
way.
guess
So
380.
yeah,
380 sounds okay lah. I guess.
yeah, it's not a lot of money. I
Sounds
mean,
okay.
yeah. So
well,
and
depends on
yeah,
what is a lot of money in the sense of like
looking after the dog.
if you are doing it as a service in terms of like taking care of a dog, like you say, like $80 a day, that kind of thing, that's a bench.
Cheap,
If that's the benchmark, that's not a lot of money. Right?
correct.
But if you're gonna like take care of the dog like long term, and that's if you're not sending the dog to the vets, if you are carrying the dog in the sense of like food, shelter, then 380 ringgit per month consistently, that's actually quite a bit.
If you're feeding this like kibble and nothing
Yeah, I
special,
mean, you don't
apparently,
even need to feed
yeah,
kibble.
What is kibble? What is
like
kibble?
dog food,
basically.
Oh.
dog food,
Biscuits.
those, yeah.
A
Can you
pack
feed
of
the dog
process.
that the whole time? Like only that? Can you need to vary the diet a bit, or with some
You-
vegetables, or
I guess for longevity of the dog's health, feeding different kind of proteins, fresh food is a lot better. There are even like arguments of like feeding dogs uncooked, as in fresh meats and stuff, and that would be for
like
their
back to nature kind of thing?
something
For their
like
gut
that.
health.
So
Gut health
yeah,
and natural.
gut health.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, so
So
even if
kibbles is like feeding them cereal like that lah.
yeah,
The convenient way out versus that lah.
okay lah. I mean, okay, let's think about, say, feeding it chicken. Okay, if you were to like have chicken and everything, what is how
Cooked chicken
yeah, cooked chicken. So if you're gonna like
is
stay,
expensive.
yeah, it's kind of expensive, you put it that way. If
One
every
bird a day.
Not one bird a day, but say you get like 2 meals, right, of pure chicken and stuff like that. That's close to about, say, 600 grams of meat per se, right? And that's easily, say, give it 6-7 ringgit huh? Or just make it easy to count. So at the end of the day, 10 ringgit a day, 30 days, 300 ringgit. There you go. If I'm rounding it up, make it easy to count. So then
mhm,
again, now you put it that way, 380 is not a lot.
mhm. Yeah,
But
I
if
mean,
it,
I never felt that it's a lot lah. It's just that this is the outcome that came to organically when trying to find a solution to not get my uncle to do things that wouldn't be ideal, and also to not mess up things with the current generation, whereby my other family elders are happily and peaceful and in the house and all that lah. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes with the current arrangement. Um, yeah,
How did she suggest 380, or is that
yeah,
just a
yeah.
number
She
you
did, she
guys
did.
landed on?
She
Oh,
she
I
she
see.
she just said, yeah. I mean, basically, I told her that, oh, okay, you know what? No, I brought, no, what happened is, yeah, I told her that probably the renting thing wasn't I think we're not gonna go ahead, and then I think within 1 or 2 days, she said, "Okay, get some food." And then after that, oh, we bought some cable and some canned food, some dog canned food, $50. The a sizable pack. Hand it over to her. So I saw the house where she stays. It's actually okay lah. It's not like it's surely not in the mess like how my uncle's house is lah. So it was
Yeah.
decent. And then I think within a week, it's like, oh, the dog isn't really eating the food or doesn't really like it, prefers like chicken rice or whatever stuff that she buys. I mean, she has fed the dog before lah, even when the dog was injured. Actually, all these things began when the dog was injured, limping. Then my uncle also kanchiong, and had
Why
it not
was
been
the
for
dog
the,
injured?
I don't know, when your
Yeah,
dog is like
nobody
freely
nobody knows.
roaming around the housing area,
Nobody knows.
somebody knocked it lah, car lah, or somebody not happy with a roaming dog going wet also. I have no idea lah, but it's, to me, it's a very a common thing to occur if you got a dog appearing like a stray, free roaming freely around the neighborhood, you know, not being walked or not on a leash, just going everywhere. So yeah, so that's gonna be the arrangement for now. Um, it's not really a fully settled sorted matter, but I don't know how much more effort I want to put into it if it doesn't call for it. It's like, it's something that just is lingering there. Is
Yeah,
it
I
a bad thing
think
to not complete? Yeah.
yeah, this is a tricky situation lah, because I've seen how complicated they can get with dogs. Because my sister has a number of dogs for a number of years now, and it's effectively like a child lah.
Yeah,
So
but
like
again, we know
go and
that
get like
benchmark is not what
jabs, go and
I
get
want
like,
lah. Yeah.
yeah. But you say that if you say, okay, we'll give you this for the food, then next month, oh, you know what, the dog actually needs to go to the vet. You have no money. How? Didn't expect you to pay again.
We also want
And
to avoid
then
it
yeah, so
becoming
you
like a
kind of like
siphon
don't
now,
want to open like the floodgates. But
Correct.
yeah, so how about like you buy the food, then I'll just bring the food to you. Then I don't give you the money, but we'll buy the food. Then you just feed. Is that
Yeah.
better?
So that's one additional thing to do lah.
Yeah. It's
There's still, so
just
again,
yeah,
like
just
how much more closure I want to settle on the case, and how much more I want to do versus not do.
yeah. It's
Yeah, that
tricky
kind
lah,
of thing.
especially since your uncle like really cares for this dog in some ways lah.
He obviously does, but
Yeah.
he will also very quickly like, oh, like that, okay lor. He will also quite quickly just like
Okay, lor,
let
meaning what?
let matters go. Just like, oh, okay, there's someone look after the dog. The dog seems to be quite comfortable with this lady. Okay lor. I mean, he
Oh,
cares for the dog, but on the other hand, he also very quickly like, okay lor. They doesn't really um scrutinize a situation. If like a sort of solution comes to be, then he will like, okay lah. No, he doesn't
that's
he
easy.
doesn't care too much. He's pretty easy.
He's not too bothered with the
Unfortunately,
details lah.
correct. And I guess it's also good for somebody his age lah. But unfortunately, this also applies in a many more times factor of many more times when it comes to his own well-being. It's like, it's
Right.
nothing lah, it's nothing lah,
Right.
everything nothing. The house was nothing, and we've seen what that has come to be lah. So
Right.
yeah, um, yeah. First time we have a dog topic on the channel.
not really a dog topic. It's much more of,
It is not really.
Yeah.
it's much more
occupational.
of the situation that you're in, and if you really want
It
to
is.
put into a perspective, is about retiring, old age, mental health, and getting on with life
Yeah, if
after.
you wrap it that way.
Yeah, so it's a very difficult topic, and that's
It's
why
no
I'm
fun.
pretty
Yeah.
quiet.
Okay. I mean, it's things that will happen, and the circumstance of how we land onto it, whether or not it's just okay. Somebody is sick and then pass away, and then that's it. Or like in my uncle's case, his health is fine, but then there's just other things to deal with, but he wouldn't do it, and then somebody needs to do it, and then well, it's not a finger pointing game, but then. The selection and the oh yeah no who should do it because the person's name is in the will or whatever all these kind of the half
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
half what do you call that um not money minded but then like
Right. Yeah, that
asset oriented
sucks.
thinking
That
like
sucks.
this is how it should be because
That
this
really
this is what
sucks.
it is wealth equates to your care or care
Mm,
your the wealth be sorted on you would then become the equation of your care that you must apply back or whatever lah.
oh,
It's
yeah.
horrible,
There's
but yeah.
some. I can't remember if I shared with you guys. This is not something that I would want to like go into much detail. But yeah, but there's a bit of that
Mm.
going on, like in like my family as well. So yeah, no fun. Eesh.
I think it
And I
happens to
guess
all family, all this kind of thing.
in some way or
It's very
rather,
strange
yeah.
when it's very strange when someone holds like an inheritance like over you to kind of like get leverage while they're still around. There's just something
Inheritance.
strange about it. Yeah, so I guess leverage is leverage, lah, right? Whether you're
Leverage is leverage,
whether
correct.
it's when you're
Correct.
alive when the leverage actually materializes or not.
And so speaking of inheritance and everything, I mean, we didn't miss an episode because of my grandfather's passing, did we not?
uh,
That may have been
I don't think so.
I don't think so
It was a
because I
weekend.
think he
It was a
passed
weekend,
like
wasn't it?
no, he
2
did.
weeks
I
ago?
think yeah, it's gotta be about
No.
two weeks ago already, and I think he
Right.
passed on a Wednesday morning or a Thursday morning. Where
Mm,
Wednesday morning gotta be then maybe after our recording or I can't remember.
No. If it's 2 weeks ago,
Maybe-
then it was probably the Tuesday night whereby I went and meet try to sort out the thing.
Mm,
Maybe.
well, something like that. I don't.
Right.
So
because
like
I think it's
one
over-
day postpone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not early of the week, right? And why I'm bringing
Mm.
it up is because of him being an old age. He passed. He's what 94 years old.
Yeah, you said 94.
94 years old. So he's been around and being in the family and him being so old and the coping mechanism or rather the joke that's going around was like it's his inheritance and his inheritance yeah, because I've got families they are like in Hong Kong and my brother's in Australia and another brother is in Singapore. And then when we met I personally we went to the airport and picked them up, right? When we see each other, oh, you all came back for the inheritance, right? Which is not lah. I mean, I don't think even if let's say he has a
is
lot,
there inheritance? Is there
I
like
don't know.
massive
There's
inheritance?
nothing nothing in the bill or whatever. But it's I don't think in my family we're talking about it or care who actually, at least not my generation. It's gotta be my mom's
Yeah.
my mom's generation whatsoever.
The immediate yeah.
I don't
next
think it's a big
level.
deal. It's either there's no money or it's not a big deal. Either or, right?
Not a big deal. Probably no money, lah.
But the coping mechanism, or rather, the running jokes that we all had was like, yeah, how much inheritance? Where is he hiding and everything throughout the whole entire.
Yeah, I also jumped in.
Secret
I also
map
jumped in there as well.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. So literally, this few weeks, we being off air, there's a lot of things that happen in our own little private lives. I didn't really talk about my grandpa's passing, and not many people knew about it really. If it's not I think I told Kenny
Yep.
my secondary schoolmate wouldn't have known. I don't think the guys that I hang out with in Subang Jaya, we didn't say anything. Also, we just it's relatively private affair. So it's just like that law for that event.
I mean, this is the other thing though. Like, whenever there's a loss in the family, you know, it's not something that you go around and tell everybody like, hey, my so and so passed away, and uh, yeah, just let you know. I mean, like, if you're involved in the family, then you will be busy, or you'll be having your own way of dealing with it. And then the last thing, one of the last things that you would do is to go around, like announcing it, to people, like it's a thing. I went through that with my but I think one example was my dad was the first one, and I actually if he listens, I appreciate our common friend Sui Jin. I think he knew that my dad passed away, and then he just took it on himself to go and communicate with the friends in the circles, which he thinks that I would want to be aware, and then just handle everything with the information that I even forgot how he even knew, but basically it was actually good because this is my dad. So obviously it was a big deal for me. But I won't be going around telling people, my father passed away, ma. But instead, he then took it upon himself to communicate necessary, and then people just showed up, without having me to do anything. And so I kind of like, yeah, I actually made sense. But then there's also the wisdom in that, you want to tell the people that I guess would make sense, but then not starting to tell, like, everybody and anybody who thinks that there's a bit of a balancing act there as well lah.
Right.
So I guess I kind of took it on me to communicate to just one group of friends, which I think would make sense, but then not every single group of friends lah. Otherwise, of
Basically, you
course,
didn't
it's,
like do a Facebook post lah.
Yeah, I mean
right?
it's
not on
okay.
behalf for sure. No,
Tweet.
yeah.
I mean
Tweet
it's
X.
okay. What the behind? I think the backstory for me is like this. I know people care, and people care about me rather than my grandfather, simply because they don't have a connection, right? And I don't want to make it when it comes to something like this, and especially it's a old age, and then same as when my grandma passed away. Also same thing. We didn't really announce it. We all of us siblings, my cousins and whoever, we didn't like have a Facebook page or announcing the thing, simply because I guess why, if you want people do that, is to announce so that people who
Who
knows
want
them
to, yeah.
can say their final, can
Yep.
see them off one last time, that kind of thing, which is also I think is very important, because that's very respectful as well, right? You want that to happen. But when it comes to my grandmother, that's 5-6 years ago, I don't think she has anybody on Facebook. Nor
She
my
have an account though.
what's that?
Nor
No,
account.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So
Be lah,
I don't
or
think
shouldn't
so.
be lah, right?
And nor
so
my
so, so my auntie
granddad.
had an account.
Yeah.
My auntie had an
Going to
account, but
grandparents
obviously,
on Facebook is generally no good.
what? Grandparents on Facebook is no good. Okay.
Grandparents or our parents
Because of
on
what they,
Facebook
because of what they do on it.
generally-
Yeah.
Generally, not much good comes out of it, man.
I mean, so my aunt had the account, but it's not like I'm going to use her account to get and post like on behalf lah, but I could tag. So I think for my auntie, I just made a post, like rest in peace, my auntie, and then a photo of us together. But I don't think that was the announcement, or maybe it did. Okay, like it was quite early on lah, but I think the first communication to friends and family was through like more direct means lah. I had access to her WhatsApp, so I was also kind of like handling the communication there, and I think I also knew a few of her friends from her teaching days. So yeah, that's that part
It's
as well. But again,
kinda-
you are deciding who to call, who to communicate to.
Yeah. Actually, one of our friend turned up to my grandfather's wake besides Kenny. He was telling
Yep.
he was sharing me about his the dad's passing, and and how his dad's phone doesn't really save number, only like a couple of numbers in the speed dial, which is in
Which
the
is
address
yeah,
book. And then
correct.
people were like, after a year plus, it's like, how come you all never tell me that your dad passed on?
There was no
You know?
means to communicate. Yeah.
So
Right.
I also understand that in that sense. But coming from, say, where I was, my thought is like, I don't want to impose as well. It's like telling means also people are like wanting
You
to
know, therefore, yeah.
do something about it. And it wasn't
Right.
it wasn't something of like we want them to purposefully come and say, you know, see things and see how things are. We were okay, you know, emotionally. Loss of a family member, old age, and the relationship and everything. We are pretty okay. We are pretty how to say sad, you know, of the passing and everything. He's in the old age already, and it's very difficult for him to live his life. To be honest, so we were all okay. From you know, my parents to my aunts and my well, I don't have an uncle. My uncle passed on very early on, so that's why we didn't make it like, you know, an announcement or whatever. But if let's say if I were to touch wood pass away, and you know, you guys better come back.
Come back.
Well, I'm saying Eugene,
Toy,
and it's like
toy.
whatever.
Toy.
Oh, okay, okay. I was like, come back. What? Oh, you don't come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing about communicating about such losses, and then also yeah, again this is getting to those like Chinese and people thinking kind of things. Like what I said earlier, like if there's a loss in the family, and then um I actually did observe recently that we should go, or somebody should go. If you don't go, then last time when somebody passed away here, they didn't come, so we don't go. I like what?
Oh,
Oh,
you mean like
I
a
mean,
wedding kind of thing? You didn't invite me. I
yeah,
won't invite you back.
but again, it's like wedding also is like I don't know. Is it a
Give me small
Chinese
ang pao.
thing?
Give you small ang pao back.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everything that
Yeah.
boils down to a record of like you do me, I do
Mustn't
you.
have been very close lah. The rivals in
No, but the
life.
thing is that because families involved, then a lot of thoughts go into it, and sometimes those thoughts goes into paths which are really not the
Right.
nicest kind of and it's like it happens, and then I can't say I'm like completely caught off guard, but it's like really man. I mean,
It still kind of sucks, right?
it doesn't, and I've observed it recently, and then like
Wait,
yeah,
you
I
mean this
mean
happened in your family, or it was like another?
my in-laws lah. There was, so I mean, I think maybe in the defense it wasn't even an issue, but there was a topic or conversation, and I was like, really? I mean,
It's kind of
yeah,
petty, right? I mean, the person
it's
is already dead.
the problem is that the pettiness may not even be from the party who's apparently expecting whatever. It could just be completely self-generated, thinking like, oh, what if you do it, then don't do, and then that's how they do. It's this kind of thought process which I guess uh, uh
Was any of this said in Hokkien by any chance?
no. Why
No.
is it hard? Is it more harsh?
Maybe,
No,
yeah,
it wasn't even
maybe more
spoken in
harsh
person.
in
It was
Hokkien.
more like an internal discussion prior
okay.
to the decision made on what to do and what not to do. So, but if being even privy to that discussion, and also the train of thought, I was like, really, man? Oh, okay lah. Not my family per se directly, but yeah, I just follow through, lor. Yeah.
Well, the conversation's
button.
gone really, really dark. I'm sorry.
Push
I
the
started
button.
it. And
Did you? Oh, okay.
well,
Okay, because of follow up from
for-
what I was saying about, yeah.
yeah, from the view, I was like thinking, I could relate from the conversations that I had during my grandfather's funeral, and then Amelia is actually watching us, and then when we were talking about me passing, and then she was
Oi.
saying, "Hey, am I
Oi.
in your bill?" You guys cannot see the question is on Facebook. Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of wills, do you remember the premise of like The Bachelor? the
I didn't finish
basically
rewatching it, but yeah,
basically
you.
it's very simple premise. So basically, this guy Chris O'Donnell, his grandfather passed on, and then in the will it stated that he has to be married, and
And
the
get
marriage
a
must
lot
be a
of.
real marriage, and you get like $15 million, something like that lah. And it's an inheritance. If you don't, then everything will be just given to charity, something like that. So then it just so happened in the movie that the very next day was his. He was gonna one of the conditions that by the age of 30 or something he was gonna turn 30 the next day. So that was yeah. Anyway,
And the whole thing was made known, and then there was like a lot of women involved and
yeah.
wanting a cut.
I
Who's the
wonder how
girl
many
again?
movies have been made.
Who's the girl again?
Renee Zellweger.
Zellweger. Ah, there you
Yeah,
go.
which I completely
Okay.
forgot. Right? I completely forgot until a recent rewatch.
I guess I got to rewatch it. I possibly watched it when it was out, but I cannot remember the premise at all.
I
Yeah,
would.
it's one of those lah. It's one of those that like wasn't very memorable lah. But it was,
It's true, but there are other things that it's memorable for, particularly for me and you. And I think I'm reminding John and maybe also for the audience. No, we were playing charades, and then you were no, what charades? We were playing taboo.
yes.
We're playing taboo. We're playing taboo, whereby you have to make somebody guess a word without saying the word, but then describing it with other words. And there's some words you can't say, and then the word that you got was bachelor, and then the first thing I
Oh my
remember, the first
goodness.
thing you said was that this guy plays Robin in the Batman movie, and then when you said that, and this is like like early 20s era.
More than 20 years ago.
It was so the moment you said that, I had this very vivid memory of the movie poster of The Bachelor on the PJ State Cinema, which I drive by that road every now and then because I live there. I go breakfast up down, and I've seen I got a very vivid picture of that poster. And this is like poster. It's like it's blown up, okay, but because back then blowing up or printing was not cheap, like not printing like digital to order, not print. So it was actually somebody
Huh?
recreate.
Hand-drawn one.
Hand drawn lah.
It's
Canvas ah?
poster. It's canvas.
Oh my
Canvas.
gosh.
You remember those? Like those old
remember those.
cinema. Exactly.
Like,
The poster was done that
wow,
way, and it was
forgot
like
about that.
that's Chris O'Donnell, and that's Renee Zellweger, and that's
That was
the
quite difficult to
Bachelor.
do, actually, those posters.
Well, they need to do one. I mean, it's like a job based thing, lah. Like
Oh
one
my
movie,
goodness.
one
Yeah, I
release, and then they
forgot about
designated,
that.
and then they blew out as a canvas thing.
Hand-painted, like
Yeah.
poster copies.
Correct. No, based on like the master design, and then so I remember that. Then like straight away when you said this guy, you didn't even say Chris O'Donnell. You said this guy. Yeah, actually you could have just said Chris O'Donnell, but I guess that would be too easy for some people lah. But yeah, this guy played, and then I remember Robin. Yeah, it was Chris O'Donnell, the Bad Nipples Robin, and then I just said Bachelor. I don't know why, because I somehow the image of that
Yes,
came up,
yes,
and then
I remember that.
got the word The Bachelor, and then I think I had to explain to you how I managed to connect those because you didn't believe how that could have been guessed in the first place. So I will somehow remember that more than the movie itself.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
It was at your
That's
house, right?
funny.
It was at your house.
No, I think it was in Piggy's place. The
Oh
one
yeah,
that,
maybe.
Yeah, the one that was like a
Ken
apartment somewhere, I can't remember where.
two Damansara, yeah.
Oh, I even remember the apartment. I can't remember as well.
Have you been taking
Yeah.
ginkgo or something and you've been remembering a lot of old stuff?
No, it's just the stuff that I somehow selective memory thing. Like I can actually like not be doing stuff on the computer, and then okay, I need to open this app to do something, and when I go there, I actually could forget for like 10 seconds, and then I had to think of it. Oh yeah, I am supposed to do that. Gonna follow my train of thought.
That happens.
That happens. That has happened to me on and off. I guess it's not a disease or yet, but yeah, it's happens. But then there is some selective memory stuff that is just etched in the head lah somehow lah. So yeah, The Bachelor, Taboo, and movie poster.
Oh, look what I have here. I have
10. Who's the president?
Alexander Hamilton.
Ah, oh, this Hamilton looks good, and it looks better than the
Yeah, he's
the
supposed to be quite
stage
good looking
actor.
guy one. So yeah,
I mean,
that's
like no, for looks a bit like Christian Horner.
Does it?
there's a
Right,
that kind of like
Bull,
a
Red,
that
Red
kind
Bull,
of,
Red Bull.
yeah. I mean, like the kind of like the jawline, and then like
Correct,
like
yeah.
very astute, but secretly very sneaky.
What about the note? Why suddenly talk about the
Oh,
note?
because it's
Hamilton?
because we I was changing money for like Korea,
Hmm.
and then I asked him, whether, do you have like a $10 US note that I could change? I just one lah, because I wanted to show the kids, because
A good condition
we're
one.
gonna watch
Good condition.
Hamilton in like in April next year.
Hmm.
Sorry, April.
So ways away.
April. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's on the note, the $10 note. So that's him lah.
Do you remember all the presidents on all the notes? I know
No, I don't.
Washington's on
I
one.
don't. He
Franklin's
was
on
never
100.
president. He was never a president. So
Who? Hamilton?
Hamilton was never president.
So so it's not even presidents. It's just like
He wasn't
some
president.
notable
He
figures.
he was the secretary of the treasury or something like that. So
Wait, so that means the notes on the people on notes are not all presidents?
I think a lot of them are, but he wasn't. He never. And as like the
Oh, way to
story in
stand
the
out.
musical, as this. I mean, of course, I didn't know any of this before the musical, but he was never a president, but he
Oh.
was the first secretary of the treasury in the US or something.
No lah, he is
So
on.
which is kind of like a bizarre like premise for a musical. So,
He's
but,
on the note
yeah.
because he's in the musical.
All presidents who entertain the public will appear
Yeah,
in the note,
with rap.
including Ronald Reagan with rap.
Alexander Hamilton. April, huh?
I don't know why I didn't
so-
finish watching it. I know I didn't finish watching it.
It's a bit hard to follow because it's like
Really?
so much.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's-
because
But
when you
but
first
it's all the
listen to
hype though. I mean, it was one of the like main things playing in
in Broadway.
Leicester
and-
Street. Yeah, when I was there, I was like, but I
Yeah.
chose to watch.
It's catchy. The music is good. Lin Manuel
there's
Miranda
also
is
the-
very good at it.
Yeah,
he's very good.
Miranda's
He's
prime.
very good.
Correct.
And of course, there is the patriotic nature of it, lah. Because
Yeah.
it's like during the Revolutionary War, and they won, and there's a whole series of songs about that. And then of course there's this like unknown story that hasn't been told before, and so it's got all of these like elements. And of course, it's good as well. And so and it's different because it's rap and it's quite well written. But yeah, it's a bit hard to grasp. When the first time I watched the Disney episode, I was like, I couldn't understand what they were saying.
Which is one of the first few things on Disney Plus when they like came to
Yeah,
be. It was like
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
like
yeah.
main like exclusives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to
But
be still there.
Alyssa really liked it. So
I mean,
think
I
it's
reckon it's still there.
Yeah.
Although, wouldn't Disney have to pay like for a certain duration? Because it's not really a
Is it
Disney-
a Star?
It's- I think
Is
it's a
it the
Disney's
S- the
production.
Star?
really.
Because there's
How-
this
how
section
would-
in Disney Plus called like Star. So that's where
Yeah,
like,
Star
Grey's-
Star
Grey's
was the
Anatomy is and all
previous.
that.
Correct. I mean, Star is kind of like a more adult content. Then it was one of the companies under Fox, which was part of the acquisition lah. But in terms of production and distribution ship, I don't know how
I
would
don't
Fox
know.
or
Because
I mean
how do you
of
tell
course
whether
Disney could
it's-
um
How do I tell
I
whether
mean-
it's under Star or not?
yeah, because we have it all under one Hotstar, so it's like a bundle already. I mean, there's
It
a
doesn't
production
have a
and then this
credentials here.
in Wikipedia. I mean, there's the
it's
production
like
and then there's the
here on-
recording of the production,
There's
and
this
then
one,
the
the Star
rights
here.
to distribute that recording. As a
So
yeah,
How do you search specifically under Star? I don't know lah. Yeah. Anyway, so it's stuck with like Alyssa. So then I just started listening to it. Then okay, like kind of like grows on you lah.
No, some of the song really grows on you, like shots. That's pretty good.
I need to give it a go lah.
And then the beginning when Lin Manuel was like, his name was Alexander Hamilton. You know,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
kinda
yeah, yeah.
catchy.
The opening.
So that was really
opening.
catchy.
Yeah.
The opening
really
one, yeah,
catchy.
I remember that.
And then the King George, is it King George? The
Yeah.
King fella.
King Josh, they don't know what.
and
lah.
his beats that
So that was
that
hilarious,
song
yeah.
was pretty nice, very catchy as well.
Yes, I know which one. I know which one.
So
You'll Be
it's
Back.
like here and there for me. I didn't finish it because I've got to like really look at the lyrics to try to make context of what was going on.
Yeah. So there's like there's a lot of words lah, because it's like rap, right? So you kind of like need to like really pay attention. So but yeah, but yeah, we're like full fans. At least me and Alyssa lah, we're like full fans
Mm.
now lah. So we're just dragging like the rest.
Right, here's a left swing.
Right.
What about imagine if, let's say, there will be a Malaysian story, a patriotic story in the form of a musical. Will it be a rap?
There was one. There was
Sang
one
Kancil
which-
dengan
No.
Pokok.
There was one which I was. I don't know if you guys. Did I tell you guys before that you came to see me, what, Kenny? I think
I did.
there
I
was
did. I
a-
did. I did. I can't remember what
it
was
an
the
Actors
show
Studio
about.
thing,
Uh-huh.
but
Yes.
that was not the one that I mean.
You
After
painted your
that-
face, right?
Yeah,
I remember
so
that
but
part.
That was different. So, but
Okay.
there was one other musical after that that started production, but it stopped halfway because it ran out of money. So I was part of the cast for that. So that was a musical called
Premise?
Natra. So
Okay.
so I can't even remember what the premise is, but there have
Okay.
been multiple musicals based on like
Patriotical premises.
Malaysian like
Stories.
stories, or like maybe even folklore. So there have been.
Putri Gunung Ledang. I mean, that's
Oh, you mean
that's
that
a
kind of thing,
move.
ah? Oh, okay lah.
Oh, that's folklore lah, but that's like
Folklore
a yeah.
Okay. There was one that I watched. The very first musical I watched was Uda and Dara, but that was in Actors Studio Bangsa. And now I don't
Uda?
know who Uda and Dara. I
Uda?
can't even remember
What's Uda?
what this.
Dara's
But,
blood. Uda is Mak Uda.
Yeah, let me look it up.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was so there have
Oh, is it?
been like
Okay.
musicals lah. There was even like there was even a musical about Brickfields last time, but that wasn't good.
Mm.
I remember.
It should be quite visually appealing, yeah.
I
Brickfields.
remember what's the comedian name? The one that can sing. the
Douglas
Chinese
Lim?
one, Douglas Lim.
Douglas Lim.
Acted
okay.
in some
Lim?
musical also. In his early career, before he is known as the comedian, he was actually doing on
Before
the stage
Kopitiam, is it?
A little
think-
after Kopitiam, before
yeah,
comedy. Yeah.
about Ipoh, Kinta story, love story, young
yes.
adult.
There were a few like that.
Yeah.
that.
I went there for
Kinta.
that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Some Ipoh's Chinese love
Well,
story.
you
kind
know,
of thing.
Kinta to me and you mean something else completely because we watched a movie called Kinta and that was
Yeah, that's the-
amazing. Oh, what's the?
Yeah,
I mean, amazing
a
in
way.
the inverted commas
Oh,
is
oh.
how
as big as
how it was is because even I think it's somewhat related to my family because my youngest
yes.
brother growing up.
That's the only
he
reason
was
why I
in
know.
Wushu. All right, he was very into Wushu. He was
Like
representing
competitive, right?
competitive. He
and-
was
yeah, local
representing
scene, yeah.
Selangor in Wushu and all. He's like doing 360 flip. He was doing all this namkeen and everything.
Oh, really?
And the coach that he was under was a Malaysian champion or something, right? And he got involved in a project called Kinta, which is a movie, right? And obviously, because he is like the student and all, of course, I bring family along, go support and watch the movie, or or make sure that we all watch and we went lah. I mean, no harm. I mean, I would love to just like watch a local movie, which
local film, yeah.
kind of nice. And did we watch it together, Kenny?
We did. Well, I know at least one time lah. I don't know if we went back again or we watched it prior lah. I wouldn't have lah.
So it was a movie about fighting and all these
Gangsterism in the Tin Mine days of Tin
Ipoh,
Mine
yeah,
era.
yeah.
Correct.
So
Kinta, hence.
one of the comment I remember telling Kenny was like the fighting scene was so good, they got to repeat it in black and white, the whole entire freaking scene.
Yeah, so
To make
I
up
think
the
I think it was like a
1981.
7 to 12-minute sequence of fighting, which we saw. Okay, fighting because gangster ma, fighting, and then the good guys, including our friends here, brothers, coach, got beaten up, and then while they were in recovery, they have flashback of that fight, and they basically just played the whole 7 to 8 minute sequence in black and white.
In black and white.
It was like, okay, flashback.
I
Okay, Oi.
remember you telling me.
wow.
It was
A lot of
so- it was
flashback.
so good.
Yeah. Exactly the same. And then I said, yeah, this film is so good. They have to show
How
the
many,
same
how many
thing.
minutes was that? Was
They
that
gotta show
sequence?
it twice in the
least
same
7 to
movie.
12. Yeah,
So long.
and it felt like a full sequence because it's like a fight sequence, and then it showed how the whole. It's not just one guy; it's a few of them all got beaten up. So it has to be a lot of action, a lot of like split fights, and then
that's
and
a
then and then
cop-out.
this happened right after like they got in the fight, they got beaten up, they go into recovery, and they flashback about thinking about the fight again.
What
So
just happened?
you think about it, it all could happen within the same what you call that 1, 2, 3. What's the 3 act? The same act.
Same
Yeah,
act.
it could be in Act 2 of the setup of when the hero gets beaten up and then thinking. So you could have seen the same sequence of fight in 2 color tones in the same act of the movie. Which other movie can you say can done that before?
That kind of sucks.
Hence,
And the movie
Yeah.
length, I don't think it's very long, It's maybe
Exactly.
about an hour 30 minutes or so. An hour,
those kind of
30
lengths,
minutes,
yes,
yeah.
correct.
A normal
Correct,
movie
correct.
length, lah. And if you're gonna
Action
repeat the
movie
whole entire
and-
thing like that, what kind of budget are
So
you
you-
working with? You pay the
Yeah,
colorist to change it to black and white, and then call it a day.
it's almost 10%. That sequence alone is already almost 10% of the movie. Imagine that.
Yeah. Have you guys been watching any movies lately? Because I think the cinema is rather dry nowadays.
No lah. I'm still making my way through the Braun documentary.
Is it very long?
Wish
We don't
you-
have
wish you
it here,
can.
It's four
Yeah.
episodes. 4 episodes.
4 episodes.
Yeah.
It's
It's
available
pretty-
in Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. I'm surprised.
Not Hotstar.
Okay, I
But,
mean let's
but
set
yeah.
it up a little bit. So Keanu
Because of Hulu
Reeves,
lah.
Keanu Reeves hosted a Formula One story that was released on Disney Plus, which is about Braun GP and that year where they won the championship. So they have the whole entire documentary on Disney Plus. So what's your initial take on it?
I like it. I like it a lot. I forgot a lot about what happened in that season. All I remember are the main things like that Braun GP like this came out of the gate. They were like so competitive, but there were other things that happened during that season which I completely forgot about, which they covered in the documentary.
Mm.
And yeah, so it's interesting to see, because a lot of things were happening in the background. They were not visible to the public, and so during the documentary they explain a lot of things that happened, and so that was very good That was very good. That was probably the last really compelling Formula One story that I followed throughout the year I didn't, after that I just kind of forgot and during the Vettel Hamilton era, I just it just tapered off, the interest left but the Braun GP whole story, that was the last year I think that I was following it quite closely. So yeah, it's good. I like it a
I'm
lot.
still waiting for it to come to Hotstar Disney Plus here in Malaysia, which we don't have.
Right.
Kind of suck. I was actually looking
Yeah.
forward to watch that one. But
Okay.
Las Vegas happened last weekend. Did you guys follow?
A little
I
bit.
didn't. Anything interesting happened?
Drain cover.
Entertaining to
Huh?
say the least. With
drink
a lot of
cover.
dramas in the sense of
Sounds dangerous.
offline.
Yeah.
It's well, so what happened was this, right? Building up to the whole entire Grand Prix, Las Vegas was a new track, new venue, and a lot of new things that they were trying to achieve. They do things very, very Las Vegas, very American Ninja, very WWE,
Ninja.
very American, very loud,
Very American.
very American.
Oh, it's Vegas lah, it's Vegas.
It's like Hunger Games where you introduce your Hunger Games. What they call them? Their survivor. No, the
Tributes.
champion. The
Tributes.
tributes. It's like
Tributes.
from
Yeah.
Team Williams, Alex Albon, and whatever. From Ferrari, got
Oh.
Charles Leclerc, and
You got the guy, the voice is all the boxing
that guy
voice.
came in also in one of the segment. The WWE fella is like
course.
on the left. what ring, and I was like, you got Carlos Sainz, and that particular clip, right? Carlos was standing there and then look a bit confused what was happening.
With his-
So
okay.
so with all these things building up to the whole entire GP, that was like on a Thursday, right? Max wasn't having it, and it's like we are all clowns. Like we felt like clowns standing on the podium. It's like waiting. It's all show, 99% show in clown and 1% racing. That's on a Thursday.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
he said that.
So came the first practice drama started already. 9 minutes in.
Yeah.
There was a manhole that pops out and then crashes Carlos Sainz's car.
No
And-
manhole,
Man.
drain cover. No
Drain
manhole,
cover.
drain cover. Manhole is bigger. Wow,
Drink
if
cover,
manhole,
what's the difference?
drain cover is smaller because
Smaller,
it's for water flow, not for sewage.
Oh,
whatever it is,
so
lah.
it's not the Ninja Turtle manhole cover kind of thing.
Not that
smaller.
size. No.
Smaller,
It's a
but
quarter of
enough
Not
the
supposed to
to
happen lah. Not supposed
enough
happen.
to damage 2-3 million out of his car, lah. Basically,
Oh man.
he's and
A
then
lot. It was quite bad.
and he had to replace some parts, which is in regulation. If you replace it, you are given 10 place penalty straight away. Right,
For
so
using more than the
man.
allocated.
What part is
Yeah.
that? What part is
some
that?
battery
Some
charging,
power, something,
I
yeah.
do not know. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Oh,
So
shit.
so that is one controversy by itself. The
Yeah.
penalty. The thing about Vegas, you start out the race, everybody wanted to watch. 9 minutes in, you got to cancel the whole event. So the whole entire event was red flag, so not continued, and nobody knows when the FP2 was gonna continue, and FP2 was supposed to be running in midnight, and they started to send everybody home because apparently they don't have enough transport to push to chauffeur crowds after midnight or something. I don't know something, but they just like ask people to leave the venues, so no FP2 until they delayed like until 4 a.m. when they started to run FP2 or something along
4
that line.
a.m.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Night racer.
that's the beginning. That's the very beginning of drama. Not a very good start. People were arguing. Mercedes, once his Toto was like lambasting people about saying that the event is not good and say how many people is actually working on it. They're trying to do like new stuff here and there, and then you got Carlos complaining, getting penalized like crazy, and then on the paddock, a lot of people like commenting about Carlos. Penalties and all those kind of thing, so it wasn't a very good vibe going into it lah. But eventually, you got all your qualifying, which was interesting. You got Ferrari taking the pole position. I was secretly
Ferrari.
texting,
Wow.
Charles Leclerc.
Yeah,
got
Leclerc,
into
Leclerc.
pole.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That's surprising. Ferrari has been like not doing so well, right?
yeah. He has been clocking pole positions this year, like 5, 6, 7 pole position this year. Charles Leclerc. It's just that he never had luck. I was like telling people, so this time he got pole again. What's up next? So because what happened was in this season alone, he had been on pole and he DNF, which is not very. It's kind of normal.
Really?
People, it happens
Pole
before.
and DNF.
Yeah, you got pole and
Oh
then
my
you DNF. You cannot
Yeah,
complete the
it's like-
race. Your
Correct,
car spoil or is not reliable enough to complete the race. Happens, or you got crash out,
Mm.
whatever. So that's normal. All right, but you got pole and then you got DQ in the earlier race.
Disqualified?
Yeah, he
Oh,
got disqualified in
okay.
because of one of the race where his plank, the wood plank was too
He
thin.
and Hamilton
Wood plank.
both got
Yeah.
DQ'd. Yeah.
He got
the-
DQ.
What wood plank?
So underneath the
That sparks thing. The sparks.
underneath the car, there's a wood plank that I don't know what it is
Actually made
for.
of wood.
Yeah.
It's some material that is like was
That's
spark
new.
one and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And,
So
and it can't spark until a certain level. You can't go beyond a certain level of like the
Yeah, so he got
duration.
DQ'd. And then just about 1 race or 2 races ago, where he
He's
also
in the formation lap.
he,
Formation lap.
he got
I know,
pole
I know.
position And then when he started in the formation lap itself, hydraulics
Oh
failed
crap!
and
That was
spun out.
pole, and then oh my god, that was
Yes,
pole, and then spun out. Oh
it's
yo,
formation lap, you know. So I was like
yeah, yeah,
saying,
yeah. I remember that.
I was saying this time, the only thing
suay.
that he haven't managed to on pole is to start off the formation lap cannot go, but never lah.
Oh,
He essentially had quite an amazing race, and it's quite interesting with a lot of overtaking. People watching, and people were like saying that the race was pretty entertaining because like even until the last lap where Verstappen did a dramatic thing. You know, he already pushed forward and he was first in position, but Sergio Perez was on second until the very
yeah.
last final
1-2.
corner, where then Charles Leclerc overtook him to get second and then deny Sergio Perez the
Denied
third.
the 1-2.
Yeah. So with Max Verstappen from Thursday saying it's a circus to like on the day where he won and then he was singing "Viva Las Vegas," you know. So yeah, it was a full circle, that one. It's freaking interesting. Yes, I guess it's Las Vegas. You know, it's all dramas and from beginning till the end.
Circle back to that drain cover thing that happened very early on, like FP1 8 minutes. There was pictures of like the drain cover like coming off. It was like it's almost like the drain cover just popped off with the amount of the suction that in the cars again. I don't know how lah, but it popped off, and then there were pictures of the people going and to fix the drain cover after. It looked like just some like random the guy just put this here, put some tar, and that's it. It looks like a very shoddy job. Like I don't know how they even approve it. Like on surface, for somebody who doesn't know the mechanics of it, it looked like huh, and then the guy was doing it like somebody was like I just want to go back home. I don't want to be here. It feels like I don't know, like just
Half past
don't
job.
care that. Well, again, I don't know the guy. I don't know the mechanics around what's the best way to fix a drain cover on the F1 track. But on surface it looks like huh?
Well, I mean, for what's worth, it didn't pop up again, so it worked. Whatever that they did.
True. Yes, true. I guess, but yeah. I guess this also kind of contributed to I would expect that they were the FP1 FP2 on the first day to have happened earlier, and then hence because it happened later and then there was a delay, and then whether or not it's they didn't want. I heard that it was because they had union limit on the working hours. Therefore, they can't have people to still be there to man the crowd. And if there's no one there to man the crowd, it's a security issue. They have to let people to leave, even though they can't stay. Even though you bought a ticket for FP1, FP2, you paid good money for it, but you can't stay because there's nobody to secure you, and therefore it's like it sucks. Like if you're someone who went there and then you pay and then you can't, it's crap lah.
Yeah, because building up to the whole entire Grand Prix, and a lot of people are complaining how expensive the whole entire ticket F1 was at Las Vegas, and apparently there's not enough crowd, and they had to like lower down the prices, like 50%, 60% or something like that. Don't know lah. So building up to Las Vegas was crazy.
Next year you guys can come to Singapore because I just discovered this year that there are a few spots that you can watch the Grand Prix for free one. So you don't pay one. You just go and find like there's some bridges or something, I don't know what which you can apparently can see quite a lot of things on. So yeah, free.
I don't know about you guys, but I've done F1 before in like live in Malaysia lah, basically when Sepang was a thing, right? And I was in the paddocks before, as in front of the paddocks, like it's not paddock, grandstand, right opposite the paddock. I didn't enjoy it.
Grandstand opposite the grid. Right?
Yeah, just
grid.
opposite the grid, the starting grid.
The main starting grid.
So you see it,
and you sit down and then the whole race.
I mean, you see the main action at the start and everything, right? I mean, beyond that,
You can't see
Meow,
anyone.
You
meow,
cannot
Because
see
meow,
anything.
the one in
I
the
can't even
corner
tell
is the
who
one that,
was in
like,
front.
yeah, because
You're probably staring more at the info screen, and then whatever
Yeah.
people that are watching on TV anyway instead more than.
I
Is there a
don't
big
rem-
screen somewhere in
I
Sepang?
don't
Not even there.
remember when I was watching it. There was enough screen that kept me entertained enough,
Inform, correct.
informed and
I mean,
entertained. And that time I was pretty big. I was very interested in F1.
into it.
Yeah,
I mean, if you go there and you watch live, and then your ability to enjoy the race in totality is lesser than that of somebody watching from home because of
yeah,
the
you wouldn't be able to
production.
be like up to speed with everything that happens, lah, right?
yeah.
So
I guess that has to
I
be
went to
expected, isn't it?
Sepang. I went to
Mm.
Sepang twice as well, and I didn't really enjoy it. It's like so bloody hot
Okay.
because I sat in like the hills, lah, and then it was
Oh,
just- it
okay,
was, like,
okay.
so hot, and yeah, so I didn't enjoy that. But
Okay.
I can say that I went, lah, but I didn't enjoy
Okay.
it.
I did something even more than, I mean, it's not F1, but it's Sepang. So one of those, I don't think it's MotoGP, but it's gotta be one of those series, moto
Circuits, races.
races. I was one of the,
Photographer?
not photographer. It's nothing to do. It was a random job. I can't, for the life of me, I cannot remember who got me in. I was in the video room, looking at the screens, which this is like gotta be in year 2000 plus. These are CRT screens of every single corner of the
CRT.
track, where you are supposed to report incident if you see something. So there's a button, and
Racer
then
Pro.
during the races or during the practice or during whatsoever, if there's an incident, there will be the FIA, the stewards will be like also looking
Race
at that.
stewards. Yeah.
The stewards.
Oh.
Then you are the front fellas who say, hey, there's something that you press a button that screen lights up and say, oh, that's incident. Then the steward can look. So I was in that room. I was doing one of those.
Okay,
Oh.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it
You
was
were doing it actually. You like.
Yeah, I
you
was
had a
doing
job
it.
too.
Yeah, it was a
Wasn't
job.
F1. It was.
It wasn't
another
F1.
racing event.
It was a moto something. I cannot for the life of me remember.
motorcycles or
Motorcycles.
MotoGP.
Okay.
I don't think it was MotoGP. I don't think it was that big.
Not the big one.
I don't think it was that big. But it was big enough. It was big enough to have like the full flash of crews and whatever. And I remember roaming around because accessing that area, and you are literally at the paddock already, and so we are freely roaming around that place there, and we got to go there for the whole entire weekend or something to work it. So it's kind of interesting, but it was kind of low tech lah, in a way, because I remember the cameras weren't
CRT.
good, CRTs and.
Different
in those days,
level of investment also lah into the for
I
the
hope
sport.
I hope by now they have much better tech in that room. I for the life of me, I can't even remember where the room is already.
Maybe not. Since like the place is no longer on the F1 calendar.
Oh, but MotoGP is
No,
still there.
F1, but many
still
other
there?
circuits still run there. Correct. In fact, there was still something recently happening there.
MotoGP.
Like quite a bit. Yeah, MotoGP lah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's still a very active location, but not for F1 lah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you guys all talk about like being in F1 before, and then yeah, it's an experience. You can say they've done it before, but you say you don't enjoy it. So do you, like, given the choice, would you still want to pay money and attend a GP F1
No.
GP?
Maybe not in a place as ulu and as hot as Sepang lah.
Okay,
So, but if it's like at night, here, when you don't have to
Night
travel
race,
so
okay.
far, then
Okay.
it kind of like removes a lot of the discomfort. So obviously I won't pay like so much lah, right? But if they're free locations, yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
If I want to enjoy the race, right, staying home, watching the telemetry.
comfort.
If
Yeah.
I mean, with the current broadcast itself is pretty good already, and if I've got access to the multi-view app and the Formula One TV, Malaysia don't have that kind of
Sky,
access.
yeah, the Sky or the F1 app, man. Those
The
things, yeah.
Sky one, that one's in
Maybe more of the
UK,
environment
right?
lah.
UK, yeah.
UK. The F1 TV, we don't have the rights in Malaysia because I think they sold the rights to Bein to
Bein Sports.
broadcast Malaysia's league. So maybe that's exclusive. They cannot run their own. So F1 TV in other countries. So what happened is that if they, you can watch it and it has a lot of other streams, and you have this app called Multi Viewer. So essentially, you can have the main broadcast. You can have all the radio telemetry that comes in, all the radio messages that they communicate with translation. Well, no, with captions. Everything comes in, and then all individual cockpit driver, 20 of them, you can just load it up multiple windows on your computer to watch. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of cool. All the telemetry, all the circuit, the map, where they are, all live. It's so cool. I mean, how to beat that? How do you go to the live area and then be like, I guess the sound of F1 being there, the human factor of it. But other than that, if you
feel the energy of the place, like yes.
Yeah, the energy of the place. But if you
Yeah, but
truly
I
like
don't
want to
pay so much for
see the drama on track, right? There's nowhere better than at home, really.
With all the stuff that Liberty Media has done to make it like accessible and also chargeable, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing all this came to be shortly after Liberty Media took over. I'm guessing lah.
Yeah.
Or at least
Well,
the technology also came to be as well lah.
I think
Apps and stuff.
they made it a lot more entertaining, and the drama. We all talk about the Netflix Drive to Survive and all. But Vegas was so American though. It's so loud. It's so in your face, that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, Hunger Games.
Which has a new movie.
I think sorry, but I think I need to call it a night.
We've already had that
Yeah,
1
man.
hour.
We have our 1 hour quarter, something slightly way beyond.
And something.
Really.
That's
And
right.
something, really? Did we? Oh no! My recording stopped. Oh damn it! I got to extract the audio out again. All right, guys. Thank you for listening for another episode of It's Okay lah. It's been 3 weeks since our last recording, with many things that happened in our lives, but we are back.
Yeah, thanks for watching or listening.
All right, guys. Take care. See you guys again soon. Hopefully. Bye bye.
It's a wrap, guys. See ya.